Welcome to Farm and Home, brought to you by the University of Kentucky College of Agriculture Cooperative Extension Service. And now, here's your host.
Good morning and welcome to the Farm and Home Show. I'm your host, Carol Schreiber, and with me this week is Steve Osborne, County Extension Agent for Agriculture in Allen County. Good morning, Steve.
Good morning, Carol.
Now, every year I think we have done this program, and I know it's one of your favorites, talking about buying Christmas trees.
That's exactly right. Ho, ho, ho.
Exactly.
Merry Christmas. I am a great proponent of live trees, at least to the point you cut them down.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And I'm also a great proponent of local live trees. So if you know of a tree farm here in your county, I encourage you to go out there and give those people some business. That's an agricultural enterprise that we really enjoy.
And they only have one big
one time
season.
to sell. That's right.
Exactly.
That's right. And the other thing about local trees is that some of them that you see at some of the big box stores may have been cut in the 1st of October.
Sure.
So you want to get some fresh trees, and there's lots of different types that you can get.
So what kinds can people look for this time of year?
Well, if you want to go out on back 40, you can probably find some cedar trees. That's what I grew up with.
That's what I grew up with.
They smell good, but they don't hold ornaments very well, at least the heavy ones. But white pines, Scotch pines, some firs, spruces, different ones, different needle lengths, thickness, all different kinds that you could probably find. And when you go to look for a tree, Carol, there's certain things you need to do.
Okay, so what should I look for when I go to pick out my Christmas tree?
And most of this has to do with you want a fresh tree.
Okay.
So ask where it was grown. The person working the lot may not know, but go ahead and ask anyway. And that'll give you some idea how the distance it's had to travel.
Mm-hmm.
So that means how early it was cut. Bend the branches. They should bend, not break. If they break, you might want to look somewhere else. The needle should be flexible. Bounce that tree, get a hold of that tree and bounce it on the ground and look at the needle fall. Now, there'll be a few green needles fall off, but if it's if it all falls off, you want to look for another tree because that one's a little too dry for you to take home to hopefully make it through Christmas and be safe.
Right.
So now you found your tree.
Okay.
And you take it home.
What should you do after you get it home?
When you get ready to put it up, you want to cut 1 to 2 inches off the bottom of it. And the reason for that is because those pores in that tree that take up the water are going to be clogged with sap. Mm-hmm. And you want to cut that off where it is dried so that tree will be able to take up water. And a 6-foot tree, Carol, will take up 2 quarts a day. Mm-hmm. And that's very important to keep that water in the container the tree's sitting in because you don't want it to dry out. If it dries out, those pores are going to clog up.
Now, you mentioned being safe. What are some of the safety things that people should consider?
Well, keep it away from a heat source. Don't set it there near the fireplace and there near a heater because you're just going to dry that tree out a lot quicker. Inspect your lights. Make sure that they're all working properly. You don't want to short or anything like that. So those are some of the things you need to do. And keep it watered. Again, that's important. And you'll have to put water on it twice a day for quite a while. You'll know when it starts slowing down. And that means the time is ticking until you have to get that tree out of the house.
Now, Steve, just one quick question. I guess we're going a little bit backwards, but would you advise people to measure their space before they go to the tree lot?
Yes, I would. Yes, exactly right. We had talked earlier about my house. I have a certain height ceiling, and I have a certain width. So I have to be fairly careful because when you go out, especially if you're cutting it yourself, it's really easy to get a tree that's too big for where you're going. I think we've all seen Chevy Chase's Christmas Vacation, and you don't want something like that to happen.
Exactly. Yeah. Now, if you've gone out and got your tree, but you haven't got it put up yet, how should you care for that?
Okay. Try to keep it in a cool place where, like a garage or something like that, or in the shade, and do that for it before you take it into the house. But when you take it in, make sure you cut that 2 inches off the bottom of it.
Okay.
And you put it in the stand. And when it dries out, go ahead and get it out of the house. It may be a little before Christmas, but it's better than that than have a fire.
Absolutely. So the biggest thing is we want people to buy local.
That's right.
Be safe
Be safe.
and have a wonderful holiday
That's
season.
exactly right.
All right. Well, Steve, thank you so much. And
Okay.
thank you for watching the Farm and Home Show. Have a great day.
This has been Farm and Home, brought to you by the University of Kentucky College of Agriculture